me put another cushion in there.
Oh, sure.
The only time I really do this, Nolan, is FaceTime with this thing is when I've got all my doctors,
Mm.
you know. Yeah, I FaceTime with them, so
Oh, that's good.
yeah, it saves me a trip down to Kaiser.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Yeah, which Kaiser do you go to?
I go to the one in Santa Clara.
Oh, yeah.
So the one on Homestead and Lawrence.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let me see. Is that still not high enough?
No, it looks...
What is going on? Let me turn it this way.
Mm.
There, how's that? Is that better?
It's perfect.
Okay, good.
All right, cool. Have you ever...
Before you start,
Huh?
let me blow my nose before you start.
Oh, sure.
Go ahead, what were you saying?
Oh, have you ever seen these? It's called a Loco Mat. To help people walk again. Like that.
No, let me put my glasses on.
It's like robotic.
I haven't seen that. Oh, well, I mean, I know about some robotic stuff because I was going to get one for my arm,
Mm-hmm.
Nolan, but that looks really cool. The robotic stuff is super expensive, though.
Yeah, like how much?
Yeah. Oh, well, for my arm, remember when I missed your party the last time?
Mm-hmm.
It was because I had an appointment with this lady who makes special trips up here to do what's called a stem for your hand
Oh,
and your
yeah.
arm. And so I went there so that she could try one on me and see what it could do for me with my hand.
Okay.
And basically, you know, moves. You tell it, you know, with the buttons what to do, and it moves your fingers. It tries to make you grasp stuff because you know I can't use my hand. So anyway, I called my doctor and told him about it because I thought, well, maybe, you know, if nothing else, Nolan, what I'm concerned about is I don't expect my hand to ever be normal or me to be able to use this hand anymore. I mean, I tried really hard, but, you know, I just need to live with it. But with this thing, I thought at least what I could do is always worried about circulation. You know, because if you lose circulation, then you really got some problems.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, well, at least this freaking thing could exercise my hand. So how much it was $8,000. So my it was just a thing you put on your arm, like a plastic thing with robotics, not like the stuff that I saw you with the foot stuff. That looks super cool, but that's how much it was. And my doctor said that he would try and get my insurance or try and get because my injury no it came is workers covered. It's luckily for me it's covered by workers compensation. So but he was going to put in a claim that I needed this for my hand, but then my dog hurt herself and had to have 3 surgeries in a row. And I just, you know, I realized, you know what, for that much money, if the insurance isn't going to do it, I care more about my dog getting better than my hand. So I just told him, listen, it made me, what happened made me realize my priorities, and my priority is to have money available in case my dog hurts herself again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I didn't get it. But bottom line, sorry for the long drawn out story.
No, the leg walking one is 500,000.
I imagine
Half.
so because, yeah. Well, is there something that you can rent or just something where you can go to use it?
Yeah. No, kinda. That's what I go down to San Diego for.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So you said that you have the compensation from work.
Yes.
Are you still currently working?
No, I don't work anymore. I so what I did Nolan was. Are you recording me right now?
Um, Not really. No.
No. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. So I'll just tell you what happened to me. I thought I had told you before, but I can't keep track. Cognitive impairment, you know. When I was working, I was a manager at the San Jose Animal Care Center owned by the city, and I'd been there for 25 years. And I hated the veterinarians that worked there with a passion because they didn't care about animals. So all the animals that would come in injured, they could care less about them. So, so I fought with him constantly. I was constantly getting my director upset because I would tell him, "There's a cat with his eyeball hanging out. It's connected by a tendon. It's very painful every time he moves. The eye jerks, and all they have to do is remove his the tendon to his eye, so he's not in pain every few seconds." And they wouldn't do it, so I would get my director involved. He would go down there. He hated confrontation, so you know, especially with the veterinarians, and but he would do it because he did like animals.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, this went on for years. And then Nolan, so one time there was this dog. He was an older dog. I ran the public relations, the marketing, the volunteer program, and the shelter adoption program. And so I ran a lot in the shelter, so there was a dog, and he wasn't getting adopted because he was like almost 10 years old, and he was a big dog. You know, people don't want an old dog, they want a young puppy. So he sat there for about 8 months. And finally, I started doing a video story on him, a day in the life of Cute Joe, you know, and of him being all sad because he would know what all the people passed him by and stuff. So I did this thing online on Facebook, and there's a lady. She called me up one day, and she said, "Julie," she said, "I've been following all your video diaries about Cute Joe, and I wanted to let you know that I'm coming at 2 o'clock today, and I'm going to adopt him." And I said, "Really?" And she said, "Yes." I said, "Don't you want to?" She goes, "Oh, yes, I'll meet him, but I already know all about him." And she said, "He's an old guy who just needs to live out his life," and she said, "and he can live it out with me." So we had our regular. It was during COVID. It was in the pandemic in 2001, Nolan,
Mm-hmm.
and we were at the directors meeting, but we were all in our separate offices in the same building because we couldn't sit together. So it was over Zoom, and so we were all there, and I'm like, making all my complaints. Listen, the play yards are flooded again because they forgot to turn off the water. It's muddy. The dogs can't play in there. They just slip and slide, blah blah blah. So I'm complaining the whole time, and my director tells me, "Julie, do you have any good news?" And I said, "Well, actually, I do." I said, "Cute Joe is getting adopted today." And the vets who were also on the call said, "Oh, no, he's not." I said, "Yes, he is. I just spoke to the lady. She's coming at 2 o'clock." And they said, "Julie, you've had 8 months to get that dog adopted, and you haven't done it. We put him on our euthanasia list, and we're euthanizing him." And I said, "Well, he's being adopted in a couple hours." And they told their vet techs, "So and so, go get that dog. We're going to euthanize him now." And I told my shelter director, "Lawrence, go and get Cute Joe and bring him back to my office right now." And he said, and they said, "We're closer," and because they were much closer, so they could get the. And I said to my director, "Step in." And he was always afraid of the vets, and he sat there and said nothing. And I was so angry. I was so angry. I was on. Lawrence is like, "Julie, I'm gonna run. I'll go get him. Don't worry." And they're like, "Oh no, we're get him first." And they're telling the person to put the euthanasia solution in the syringe. Nolan, I was so angry. What kind of vets? What kind of people are there actually thought my head was going to explode, and it did. I burst an artery in my brain
Dang.
and fell and went into a coma.
Wow.
And after that, I woke up, in the hospital. It took, 2 or 3 months before I could get back home. When I did, um, you know, I could do nothing. I was in a wheelchair, and I was just so depressed, Nolan. But I could never do my job again. And the one thing about it, we filed a claim against the city, because they said, you can't do your job. We're going to have to let you go. You're going to have to find another job. I'd worked there for 25 years, and I hired an attorney, and he fought the city, and we won. So luckily for me, I can pay all my bills and everything. I mean, I really can't work again. Not in my field anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just something, I personally, just like you, happens to you, happens to anybody. You have a life altering, moment. It takes a while to figure things out, and evaluate the situation, and get it's a game changer. You got to get another plan. So luckily for me, that bought me some time, because I own my own house, lived in my house for, 35 years, and, how am I going to pay the freaking mortgage? So, stuff like that, Nolan. Yeah.
So one of my questions are,
Oh,
when you see physical therapy or ed, for example, how do you define value that he brings you or your therapist? Like, what is the value you see?
well, with Ed personally, it's just him. He is a ray of sunshine and hope. He treats everybody the same. He's absolutely the greatest guy. And he inspires you. And he is so, hey, at first exercises, I mean, they're hard. I mean, we do a lot of squats and stuff, and it's hard work. And, a lot of people, don't really like that, but I know it internally makes me stronger. Not, my legs stronger, everything I need. And I don't mind doing it, because he's just so motivating. No, it's a game changer, finding skills and finding Ed.
Does he help you with your goals, like your rehab goals?
Well, yes, he does. I mean, he tells me, what he and sets up the machines, because I try and work on my arms to try and get some muscle back. And he says, okay, we're gonna do this, for 10 minutes or whatever. And he sets up the machine. He helps me get on it and stuff. Yeah, I don't know, he's great.
What are your rehab goals?
So, well, my rehab goals is I'm Nolan. I am 65 years old, so I'm not. I don't have goals like, oh, I wanna, do this physically. My goal is I need to be able to keep going for my animals. I have to be able to feed them, to reach down to pick up their food off the floor. I have to, I just want to be mobile enough to live my life. That's all, Nolan. I don't have big goals. Just, just please let me live my life and take care of my pets and myself.
So, like, maintain independence or
Absolute. Oh, yes, for sure. I mean, it
maintain.
terrifies me,
Mhm.
because if I don't maintain my independence, um, you know, what the hell am I gonna do? I mean, when I first got out of the hospital, I lived with my sister, and she is a freaking taskmaster. And at the time, I was depressed. I was in a state of shock, and I'll just tell you, one day, I told my sister, I just want to go back and sit in my house with my cat. I just want to sit with my cat, in the house because she allowed me to take my cat to her house during my rehab there. So she took me, drove me over with my cat, said, "Call me around 5 and I'll come get you." I mean, we were very frustrated with each other. She thought that I should be progressing much more than I should. I I thought I'm doing the best I can, and I truly was. So it was so anyway. So she called me and said, "Why haven't you called?" I said, "Because I'm not going back to your house ever."
Mm.
And she said, "You can't live on your own. Great. Now I'm going to have to drive down there and get you from the emergency hospital when you fall and bust your head open." And I'm like, "Don't worry, I'm not going to give your name or number to them." So anyway, it was just a huge thing, Nolan, and I did fall many times and bust my head. I couldn't even walk at the time, and now I'm trying to live by myself. But it made me stronger, and now I'm terrified. I can't regress. My God, where am I going to go? So yeah, I don't have a mom anymore like you do.
Oh yeah, thank you. So maintaining independence. When you see Ed, how he's like, he gives you a lot of his personal time and he's really good. It doesn't feel like a transaction when you go to Skills Plus. It has like a community and it has a purpose. How do
Of
you
course.
how do you think clinical settings or like clinical health professionals can make it more personal and less like a transaction?
Well, I don't think they can. It's an internal personal thing. You're either born with it, you really want to help, and you're a cheerful person who inspires people, or you're not. So
Hmm.
I don't think it's something that can be taught, Nolan.
Have you seen a high turnaround with physical therapists or anything?
Well, not really, because when I went to Kaiser for a while, I had to learn to walk and stuff. So at first I had a person coming to my house, and then, they cut that off and said you have to go there, to the place yourself. So I went there and I saw the same therapist, and I went there for quite a while, and yes, I did improve. You have to walk around the therapy area, and they have machines and stuff for you. I did improve. I'm sorry, Nolan, I forgot what your question was.
Oh, I just asked if you had a lot of different physical therapists, like one quit and you had to get a new one, or did you have the
Oh,
same one the whole time?
no, I no. At Kaiser, sometimes you can't get an appointment with one because the times just don't coincide. So
Mm.
you go to another one. So I've had several different ones, and they're all the same. After a while, they're nice and everything, but it's just a job. It's their job.
Hmm.
So that's the attitude they bring. It's my job, and they have a program. Okay, this is your sixth visit. You need to walk around the building 4 times, and then they have their own thing. It's boring, and it's not a. But Nolan, it's not something. Once you know what you need to do, it's not something that someone can their system can make you all better. You have to have internally the drive to work yourself to do what is important to you. Nobody can make you do it. Yeah, it's got to come from inside.
So, with the physical therapist or other therapists taking care of people all the time, they're like overworked and underpaid. Do you have any advice for them to protect their mental health and career longevity?
Well, I mean, I'd say the same thing to them. I mean, I think it's important when you're alive and a human being to put your best foot forward for other people, and it's important that that you care about your fellow person, and that you want the best for them. So even if it's a job for you, for that particular person, whatever you're doing for them in that hour is everything to them. So I would just say, have a change of attitude. and be grateful in this economy that you have a job. I mean, most of those people have worked hard to get where they are because, it's very competitive. There are a lot of people that go into physical therapy and mostly PTs, not so much OTs. OTs are kind of rare actually, but there's a lot of competition for PTs to get a good job like Kaiser, where it pays benefits and all that stuff.
So you also said that you have to keep going with your rehab for yourself. Like the therapist can't give you the tools. They can help you to a certain point, but you have to do the work yourself.
Yeah, you have to want it. You have to wake up and know that it's going to be hard. It's not easy. It depends. I mean, what do you want? For me, I spend most of my time trying to make my legs stronger, and I tried to work so much on my arm, but I kind of gave up on it, Nolan. It's constantly rigid and doesn't help me at all. It's very painful. I mean, that's, one thing. Some people have, like Roy. Roy, he doesn't have any pain. I have a lot of pain. Lily has a lot of pain. So it just depends on what type of injury you have. But I mean, Roy's, yeah, I'm very jealous of the fact that so this arm is like, I just want to, whack it. It doesn't help me, but, I just do the best I can. So I realized that what I really need is to keep this arm working, and I need to keep my legs strong. I must keep walking, and being able to bend down and not fall. I've fallen twice, and I broke my vertebrae um, a while ago falling. So I'm terrified of falling now, because that could change everything for me.
What is the purpose that keeps you going in your recovery?
The purpose that. Oh, hold on just a moment. I'm
Oh
sorry.
yeah,
Who is?
no problem.
Oh, let me just answer this and tell her I'm gonna call her
Okay,
back.
sure, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Hi, this is Julie. Hi. Hi, Miss Christine. I'm on a video call for an interview right now. Could I call you back in a half hour or so? Okay, thank you, Christine. Okay, bye. No, that's part of my cognitive thing. I don't know what the hell we were talking
Oh,
about. What were we
what
talking
is
about?
well, you mentioned earlier that your dogs and your pets keep you going. So what is the
Yes.
purpose that what is your purpose that keeps you going in your recovery?
Well, the purpose that keeps me going I want to. It's not the life I imagined. For all of us, Nolan, it's not the life we imagined. But you have to reimagine what is it that you do want. And what I do want is I want to keep going, to live independently, to be there for my pets as long as I possibly can. To do that, I need to remain strong. I'm very, for me, I love my house. I love being in nature so much. I'm a nature girl. And the biggest thing for me that broke my heart when I got injured is I used to walk all my dogs in the woods every day. We would go on the trails, and it was so restorative for me to be in nature. And when I realized that I can't walk anymore, I can't walk my dogs. My God, I don't even want to be here if I can't do what I love. And then I was watching TV. They had something on ATVs, and I'm like, oh my God, I bet that could go in the woods, and I could walk my dogs on my scooter. And so I bought a used scooter, and I go to the woods every single day unless it's raining. And today, as soon as I get off the phone with you and call my insurance agent back, I'm going to the woods. And you know what? nature, it's a thing I didn't realize, but I've always done that for many, many years. Go into the woods and it's called Shinroku in Japanese. It's a whole thing. It's build tours on to go into the woods. It's called Shinroku is called forest bathing, and it's restorative to your spirit, to your body, to your mind. That's what nature does for me. I love being out there, hearing the birds, smelling the smell of the trees. It's so restorative for me that I must do it. And if I, so that's what keeps me going. I must keep going and be able to go out, Nolan.
Our county is cutting 464 healthcare jobs. How does cutting
Yes.
healthcare affect the aging population and traumatic injury survivors?
Well, it's devastating. That's what it is. It's devastating to people. People that's just less people to help seniors and people that need physical help. Just less people, just like Lily and I and Roy. I called Lily and we talked for a while about how Roy and I used to take a ride service called Ride. And first we took BTA and we sat out there with everybody else for about an hour, late. They were always late. And they had this program called Ride in Saratoga. And Roy told me about it. Him and I were on it. It's the greatest service. It was about we started writing it about 6 months ago, and just found out recently that they've cut their service. The service has no more money because of what happened. It's damn Trump. That's what it is. He doesn't care about disabled people. He has cut all federal disabled funding. Well, where does the state get their money from? From the federal. Where does the county get their money from? From the state. Where does the cities get their money from? From the county. And so it's not just this area. It's going to be worldwide, and it's going to get worse and worse, Nolan, because of the fact that he's cut the funding. It trickles down, and so I told Lily, I'm really worried about the skills program. And so Lily and I got together with Christine, and Lily wrote up a beautiful letter because she's an attorney and she does great writing. And we're sending it to the board, the county board, to beg them not to cut the skills program because Christine does think it's in jeopardy. And just like all these other programs are in jeopardy, Nolan.
What do you think other businesses can do to make a move to help right now?
Well, they can contact, if they really want to help, they can contact the various programs and donate to them. You know, that's what they can do. They can support them. If you don't support but as you know, handicapped people, disabled people are at the bottom of the wish list for most things, and seniors. It's hard to they don't get a lot of funding, they just don't. And so it's going to be just like you said, the county has already cut. These are care workers, and you know where that comes from? That comes from the Trump organization. They don't care about disabled people. We're garbage. They cut all the programs. They don't want any money going to us. Just like they killed all those people in Ethiopia and cut all their food off. You know, this this government doesn't care about needy people.
Do you think private foundations can help this programs like Skills Plus or other things?
Yes, yes. Private organizations. I mean, they're going to be in trouble too because they have a lot of different programs, other programs that for benefiting people and other causes that are trying to take a piece of their money and then want to hang on to it. Well, they're going to be impacted too. I mean, uh, with the economy economy, the rich are going to be affected as well, and it's all going to trickle down, Nolan. We're in for really tough times.
What does cutting the healthcare programs mean to patient recovery timelines?
Oh, it's huge. When you cut the assets of the revenue of people getting help that need help, and you cut the people that help them, and you cut the programs that help them. What do you think? It's it's tough. What can you say? Unless somebody wins the lottery, we're all going to be affected.
When you talk about affected, what are problems that keep coming up there's not a solution for at the moment?
Problems that keep coming up. Well, again, Nolan, I I pinpoint the current powers that be in this country. That's it. They're charged with where are we spending money on the White House ballroom? That's what we're doing. I blame it. I'm sorry, but I have no other blame but to place it squarely on the party in power and what their priorities are. And their priorities are not helping people like us that need it. Seniors, forget it. They're going to cut their Medicare. How the hell are they going to even eat? I mean, it's not just us that's affected. It's all people on the spectrum who are powerless and who rely on programs, food banks, programs like that. We're all going to be affected.
Based on your experience in healthcare and rehab, what's missing that could significantly improve outcomes?
Well, okay, this is what I think. I think that each program, I can't speak for all of them, but for instance, for my experience at Kaiser, Nolan, they need to reevaluate all of their programs because, for instance, one of the things when you for Kaiser, okay, they have somebody just had a brain aneurysm. As soon as they are well enough to be able to move, send them down to Vallejo to get physical therapy where they have therapists and stuff. They all have a routine that is unchanging, so they want to limit, as they want to keep their employment numbers down. They don't want they people are expensive. People with experience, with rehab experience, are expensive. How far can we stretch this person? How many people can this person oversee? What is a program? Boom, boom, boom. This is a program. Get them through. But people, for instance, my hand is an issue, Lawrence. See my hand like this? When I first had a hemorrhagic stroke, a massive hemorrhagic stroke, I I didn't even know what a stroke was, really. I didn't know. I didn't never pay attention. If people, were in a chair or something or couldn't reach something, I would open the door for them and give them a push or something. But I never thought about people like us. Never did. And what I realize now is they have a program and a system that they put for everybody, but everybody's an individual. For my arm, if someone had told me, instead of saying, okay, you need to go to the leg guy to show you how to get in and out of a car, you need to go here, you need to do this, you need to show you how to be able to turn on the stove, to cook for yourself. They just have a program for everybody. But if someone had told me, Julie, one thing you need, your hand is like this. What you really need to do is you need to start moving your hand right now so that it doesn't atrophy like it does now. If someone had told me it's very important, Julie, your hand is like this, you must keep moving it to keep it limber and keep the bones from atrophying. But nobody ever did. I didn't know about it until I figured out, why the hell does my hand doesn't move? And I asked my doctor, and he said, well, for your hand, you should have probably size. Well, no, Nolan, that's what I'm saying. One size fits all.
You said that independence is one of your major motivators. Do you think what is the most common rehab goal that you see with people?
Well,
Like at Skills Plus and stuff.
okay. Well, it's Skills Plus. I would say, that most people, they want to walk.
Mm.
They want to learn to walk. But you see, there's so many people at Skills, I won't name anybody, but there's so many people that just don't make the effort. Nobody's going to do it for you. They can tell you, put one foot here, put one foot there, but they can't make you do it. So unless it's in your heart, in yourself, to 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 you know have motivation yourself to and ask questions. Well, how can I do this? How can I do that? Ask questions. Nobody's going to force it on you. And if you don't seem interested, in helping yourself, and you stand at the bar that Ed does and be like, oh my god, this is too many exercises. Well, that's on you. You got to find it in yourself. If you don't have it within yourself, I see a lot of people at Skills, people who I like, but people who I just like shake my head at. I'm like, why don't they work harder? I don't understand why they don't work harder. You know, um, they're injured in about the same way that I am, and yeah, at first I couldn't do shit. I could do nothing. I couldn't even get out of my wheelchair in the beginning unless I fell on the floor and crawled, and that's what I did. So I don't understand people that just accept it.
Mm.
You know.
You said some of the big goals, more common goals, were walking again. Do you think robotics can help people learn how to walk again?
Oh yes, yes. I mean, Nolan, what you showed me is a game changer for you. For you. I hope you can figure out how to get that help because I truly believe in robotics and because it what it will do is maybe you can't walk by yourself, but those robotics, when you do it, it puts a plan in your brain. Your brain remembers how to do this stuff again, how to bend, how to walk, how to do and and you're doing it all the time. Yeah, you're not doing it yourself, but that's a path forward to do it yourself. And I truly believe it, and I hope with all my heart you can get that because I can see that helping you.
Do you think it could help other people?
Oh, of course, it could help other people.
Can you think of people in our community, maybe at Skills Plus, who would benefit from it?
Well, Lily, for one, I mean, I get mad at Lily all the time. I'm like, Lily, you are so brilliant. Do more for yourself. Walk more. When that says do 20 squat, don't just give up after 5. Keep doing them, Lily. We're injured in the same way. But the difference between Lily and I love Lily to death. I mean, she's such a giving, caring person, but she doesn't work hard enough on her own behalf. And the reason is, I believe, Nolan, is because she has a family that takes care of her. Her husband, she doesn't have to. I have nobody. When I come home, if I don't walk around and get my own dinner and, clean my own mess up, no one's going to help me. So, I mean, there's motivation for you. And, like, listen, Marshall, I have a lot of respect for Marshall. Um, he drives himself. He lives by himself. And that's tough. I know it because I know that experience. And, my hat goes off to people who try every way they can to get better, just like you, Nolan.
Oh,
I
thank
mean,
you.
you're researching, you're trying. I don't know your exact situation because you have a different brain injury and motor injury than I have, but I know from where you came, I still have that picture on my phone when you were like standing there at the thing all strapped in and whatever. Look how far you've come, my yes, people helped you, but it was because of you inside what is inside here is why you accomplished what
Thank
you
you.
have.
Do you think if a private grant covered 20 sessions of the robotic therapy, it would accelerate milestones of other people?
Oh yes, of course.
In your experience, are financial constraints a main barrier to ongoing rehab?
For me,
Um,
well, for
just
or
like in
for
your
everybody.
experience, yeah, just people in
Uh,
general.
oh, of course. Yes, of course.
Um, do you think that the robotic gait training is something that should be in our available in our community?
I absolutely do.
What is a strategy that you spoke a lot about? It needs to come from you. What strategies have you noticed that helped other people stay motivated in their plan, rehab plan?
Um, what strategies?
Yeah, like
I
motivation strategies.
I think people have to make their own motivation.
Hmm.
You can have a strategy, but if you're not motivated to do it yourself, then it's not going to work.
How would a private grant for rehab affect the long term health of our aging and disabled population?
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, don't forget, for you to get into the motorized robotic thing, it takes a person who is skilled, who knows how to put you in there, who knows how to adjust the machine. Those people, I mean, those people are, there's not a lot of them. I mean, and because Kaiser itself, I've never seen such a thing at Kaiser, so, and I'm there enough that I would think I would have seen something if they had had that. And of course, one of the higher ups in charge of rehab could look at it and say, yes, let's get this. But don't forget, they're being cut themselves all the time. Okay, we need to cut your hours by 6 hours. So find a day that you can you know cut your personal hours because the program is tightening its belt and now it's going to go forward. You know, so you know there's just there's just there's just not enough to go around because there isn't enough, period. There isn't enough people that want to invest in this type of thing.
So, how would a private grant help make a positive impact on our community?
Well, I don't think it would make a positive impact on the community, Nolan. It's an individual thing. It's not like a community thing. Oh, look at this city just helped all its we don't really give back. I mean, what are we going to do for the city to make them say, "Oh, this is a worthwhile money investment for us"? There's nothing we can do. Nothing. So why would they do it? It's not. It's just like the animal shelter. I worked at the animal shelter, and we had funds, but the funds weren't. It was up to the individual people like myself to try and develop programs that would help animals. The funds are for cleaning and someone to new hoses to wash the kennels down. I mean, that's what they care about. Even though it's called Animal Care Center, no, it was just, it depends on the motivation of the people in the workspace as to how it goes. But the government doesn't care about stuff like that. In general, food pantries don't either. Food pantries are help people that need food or whatever, and it sounds good for them and they can raise money on that. But you talk to the individual employees in food pantries, you know oh damn, it's Thursday, I have to unload all these bags or whatever. I mean, it's a job. No, it's just a personal thing. It's not a grandiose oh, people want to jump in on this and help people with robotic legs. That's not how it works. It's just a luck of the draw.
How does cutting funding affect the outcomes of the aging and disabled population?
Well, it affects them negatively because if you cut funding, one of the things you cut is you cut transportation. I mean, I don't know about you, but I completely am reliant now on VTA, or if I go to class, Roy's wife drives him now because the program was cut. She comes and pick me up, so I'm completely reliant um, on others in the same situation.
Earlier, you mentioned, or just a second ago, you mentioned that people don't want to give to our population because we don't give back, so we're at the bottom. What if, but there's also a study that shows that people want to support local businesses that support local causes. Would you support a business that supported local causes?
Well, it depends on what the cause was, Nolan.
Mm-hmm.
My cause is, I mean, I have to tell you, even though if I had extra money and I'm like, I want to support a cause, what cause do I want to support? I'm not even going to support my own cause. I'm going to support the cause for helping animals because that's where my heart is. It's up to each person individually.
Would you spend more, like if there were two different stores that sold the same T-shirt, for example, would you spend
Yes.
more at the one that supported animals than the other one that didn't?
Yes, I would, but if I couldn't afford it, if I was flat broke, then I wouldn't, Nolan. Then I would go to the place there. If $2 was that important to me, I couldn't spare $2. I needed every single cent I had. I would go to the other store.
Oh, for
Yes.
sure. And then with the on a scale 1 through 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how important is a vacation after a traumatic injury?
It's a vacation.
Yeah, after a traumatic injury.
Well, I guess it's individual because to me, I think the vacation should go to the caregivers who work really hard on on trying to take care of that person, not the person themselves. I mean, that's what I think.
How would the vacation help the caregiver?
Well, my God. Well, for instance, Nolan, take a look at your mom. My God, it's right in front of you. Your mom works her freaking self to death. She when I first started there and saw you, and now I see your mom, I see a woman who has aged because she puts her heart and soul into doing every possible thing she can to help you. So she's completely neglected herself and her rest and her needs.
Hmm.
And now I forgot the question.
Oh, you answered it. You answered it.
Oh, okay.
We only have like two or three more.
Okay.
You don't drive.
No, but I drive my scooter.
You drive your scooter.
Yes.
Are you a Christian?
Are you driving your scooter, by the way?
I do. I drive it.
Riding it?
Not
regularly?
when it's nice out, not when it's like raining.
Yes.
But when it's nice out, yeah.
Yeah.
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I am.
Do you have an example? How have you seen God's work in real life?
Well, I think God's work comes in. I think God's work is in the people that have a heart for people that really are dependent and animals that are really are dependent. So God's work is in giving people the desire and the motivation to unselfishly give, either physically or monetarily, to other people.
And then on a scale 1 through 10, 1 being the lowest, 10 being the highest, how socially isolated do you feel?
1 being the lowest,
Yep.
Socially isolated, probably a 2.
2.
Yeah.
And then before we conclude, what do you have to say to city officials, business leaders, and professionals in our community?
I guess I'd say, listen, this could happen to anyone. This could happen to you tomorrow or tonight. You know, think of, count your blessings for yourself that you're healthy, and, but for the people that are not healthy, and the things, the world that, that you can help with, give whatever your cause is. Everybody has to have a personal cause to be motivated for. Maybe it's, cleaning up the beaches or something, which everybody has their personal motivation. But I say, wake up with integrity, start your day with intention. What do you intend to do today? And follow through and be kind. Whatever you do, whoever you're dealing with, be kind, because everybody, even people that are physically able and look like they don't have a care in the world, everybody has their own internal things that they struggle with. Everybody has struggles. We just seem to have more of them, Nolan.
Cool. Well,
So,
thank you.
you're welcome, Nolan.
All right.
It's good to see you.
You too. All right. Bye.
Okay, bye.